me the steal. This is the steal, baby. This is the steal. We stole Shilo. Well, I'm telling you, we stole it. They gonna regret that in.
I'm kind of hyped up now. Shilo Sanders has been one of my favorite stories to watch across college football as he transitions to the NFL. Now, a lot of people rightfully saw him as a guy that probably wasn't going to get drafted. A big thing had to deal with his injuries, and it's interesting because he has recently opened up about those things. He made a video, a quick little Q&A as he's been basically tearing up Tampa and taking over in a positive way, really showing his amazing and electric and really magnifying a personality that he has. He's making friends. He's met Ric Flair. He's eating good food, and more importantly, expressing what this transition has felt like for him, right? He's somebody that isn't looked at as a blue chip guy. He wasn't looked at as a Nepo baby. He's looked at as an undrafted free agent that is going to grind his way to hopefully make a special teams run and continue to nourish his really well curated relationship with the rest of the Buccaneers. So NFL Rookie Watch has something interesting to say. And it says Shilo Sanders' footwork has been surgical heading into his first season. Sanders has reportedly taken no days off since arriving in Tampa Bay and is working towards securing playing time in 2025. Just like his brother Shador. Very interesting to see that both Shilo and Shador went about it in kind of different ways, but it's like, different formula. But you get the same outcome, and that outcome is that they were working, right? Shador gets there, does some QB stuff, right? Gotta talk to the people, gotta enjoy the community. But then he's out there working. Shador was out there working as soon as he could. So I think that's a testament just to the way that they were raised and the way that they understand how to get after business, right? One NFL scout reportedly believes Sanders' technique has come a long way since his time in South Carolina and is currently on par with the current starting NFL safeties. Sanders has reportedly already become a locker room favorite amongst his teammates on the Buccaneers as well as coaches. Multiple Buccaneers coaches have now raved about Sanders, praising his intelligence, work ethic, and athleticism. Now, a similarity that we've been seeing with a lot of Deion Sanders players, if we're being specific, right? We can talk about Jimmy, we can talk about LeJounte, we can talk about Shilo Sanders. They getting them, you know what I'm saying? This is from the team, by the way. This is the Buccaneers main account. And I guess the reason why this is, important or is that look who he's next to, dog. Antoine Winfield Jr. This is somebody who has been linked very closely to Shilo, because as soon as Shilo got to Tampa Bay, he talked to Antoine Winfield Jr. and he started, cozying up to him, and he started becoming more acquainted with what he had going on, and said, how can I best put my best foot forward to be integrated with somebody who's a vet? And then, of course, the multiple different accounts of the head coach already saying positive.
I think you're getting a lot of depth from that standpoint with Wisdom coming into his second year, making some plays, but then you got JJ and you got Shilo also coming along and learning the system and starting to get more comfortable and make some plays back there as well. And that's even with Izzy there, and you got Winfield obviously, and you got Tyke sitting there, and you got Merriweather sitting there. So we got a lot of guys. That's going to be one of the more heavily competitive spots once training camp starts.
So not only is it a competitive spot, but mind you, Shilo, from the head coach's perspective, is not in competition for special teams. That boy in competition to be the safety of the Buccaneers. So great to hear that. Great to see that. But the main reason we're here is, and we have some clips and we have some things, it's really more about the personality of Shilo Sanders. And I think that's something that we can't ignore as we talk about what gravitates us towards him and his story. So we have an article here, and more importantly, the best displayer of his of his what's it called, personality has to be a Q&A. So we'll hop in here. We're gonna watch a few clips and hit this as well. Obviously, the most
Possibly by the end of next month, take over every woman.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but I think possibly the most surprising one, the most surprising one, had to be Ric Flair.
Why you just saying round me up, bro?
Ready?
Yeah, come on, man. Got it though.
Anyway, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say nothing about the Nature Boy. Anyway, he's growing a great relationship with Ric Flair, and it seems like everybody is he making friends with everybody in Tampa. Who is this?
Hey, Salo, they call me Buckified. They call me Buckified.
I'm not even gonna lie, you
Buckified is what they call me. No champion.
Look at that outfit. They call him Bucks Bird. I got inducted at the Hall of Fame in 2017 as a super fan. Well, you're gonna be the steal. The steal. You're gonna be the steal. This is the steal, baby. This is the steal. We stole Shilo. Well, I'm telling you what, we stole it. They gonna bring back that English. I'm telling you what, can't nobody stop us. Back to back to back to back to back, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Can't nobody stop us. We got Shilo. Shut down, lock down, baby.
When I walk like this,
Shut down,
you
down.
know what time it is when I walk like this.
Shut down, lock down, baby. Bucks 5.
You're a good man.
Straps, headache gang. Okay, I'm kind of hyped up now. Okay, Mr. Buckify. What in the was that? What was that? Who edited that? Did a 16-year-old TikTok editor make that? That shit was fire. Let's let's get into this article, and then we're gonna read. Man, we're gonna watch that video because I didn't know it got like that. So this is a cool little article. These are some more fans. This isn't Pewter. The Pewter Report. They do great stuff. This is actually a different one. This is Joe Bucs fan. So this is like a super fan account. This is what they got to say. So, by the way, take it with a grain of salt. This is fan account stuff. So, more irony for tortured Browns fans. What? I don't know. I don't know how that happened. But, because of him right here. Undrafted free agent, safety, Shilo Sanders, is trying to make the Bucs 53-man roster while he expands his Tampa food tour, which we're about to watch on YouTube. Sanders talked to his audience today about how much he admires the practice habits and routines of Antoine Winfield Jr. and how beneficial it is having a living blueprint for success working along him. Can I speak today? Working alongside him at safety. That font is getting me. He had similar comments about Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield and what it's like to practice with them. You realize that the game is just a game, and this is what it takes to be a high caliber player, Sanders said. In fact, per Sanders, when his Browns rookie quarterback brother Shador calls him in Tampa, Shilo Sanders lets him know what's impressive about his quarterback. That's interesting. Baker's done some things in practice that whenever Shador calls me, I tell him about. Shilo Sanders said, like how he goes from check down to check down real fast, just like little things. He's a great guy, great quarterback, and it's always fun out there in practice. Of course, after 4 seasons, the Browns gave up on Mayfield in favor of trading 3 first-round draft picks for sleazy quarterback. All right, you can tell fans wrote this. Deshaun Watson, the Bucs have enjoyed 2 Pro Bowl seasons from Mayfield before his 30th birthday. Shilo Sanders went on to talk about how he is trying to enter Bucs training camp in the best possible shape and completely and mentally prepared, so I can go in knowing everything and playing fast without thinking about anything too. Sanders added that he's learned Tampa that mental preparation is most of the game, translate to you being good at football. So I do want to talk about 2 things as a Texas Longhorn fan. And as a Texas Longhorn fan, like I'm someone who I can separate my fandom from like NFL prospects. Like Myles Garrett, I knew he was a dog, but he was a Texas A&M player. So like I hated Texas A&M, and I will continue to do that. But was a big fan of Myles Garrett because he was a dog. So it's like a different. It's a weird thing. And that's how I felt about like Kyler Murray, for instance. That's why I'm saying that. Not how I felt about Baker Mayfield. I thought Baker Mayfield was buns. I thought the same way people be in my comments talking about Shador Sanders, that's how I was talking about Baker Mayfield back in, 2017. He's overrated. He can only throw on the run. He's too short. He's not even fast enough. His arm's barely good enough. What are we talking? He's a mediocre, awful quarterback with bad footwork, and he can only work rolling out the pocket. That's what I had to say. Now, I think what I've learned from Baker Mayfield, and that's why I'm a fan of Shador, is that, and Geno Smith, right? What's it called? What is it? Jared Goff. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks mature. I've seen that when you throw a quarterback directly in the fire and expect him to figure out what y'all consider the hardest position in football, there might be some problems. There might be some issues. He might have to figure it out. CJ Stroud, last season, it's a fail. The kid made the playoffs. What are we talking about? But that's how people look at it. And, Peyton Manning had a whole rant about that. I can go into that and talk about my Texans and quarterback expectations. I'm very passionate about that, and that's why I'm really hoping Shador gets to sit on a team for a year and just chill, just vibe. Anyway, another point. Let's get into this Tampa Bay food review from Shilo Sanders. We're gonna review it, yap a little bit while he's yapping, and just get into some questions. All right, so these are the questions here. I hope some bangers come around, and then we'll jump around. Let's get into it. All right.
Acting, modeling, bro, music. Drake like 30. He's still making music, so
Oh God,
by that time, hopefully I could keep doing that stuff too. A lot of people say I'll be good at the commentating too. That'll be funny. But I'll say
you'd be way better than
for
me.
sure.
Yapping.
Just having fun with everything that I'm doing. I want to be in a position financially to where I could enjoy my life and the people around me can enjoy their lives too. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. That's what my dad did. That's why you got that spot in Canton. All right, these are kind of hard to get open. Like, it's not falling out at one piece. I don't know why.
All right, you wake up as Coach Prime for a day. What's the first thing that you would do?
Coach Prime as a day.
Wake up and say, no.
Wake up and say,
Then I say,
I might have to mute this occasionally because they got T Swift playing in the background. You know that boy, T Swift don't play, or not boy that lady T Swift don't play.
Coach Dad Prime.
Coach
for one day,
Prime.
I would just make a trust fund for Shilo
Hey,
and just give it to him.
That Shilo trust.
These crab legs gonna make my shoulder so. I need them to just open up, bro, and just be cool, bro. Let me just go ahead and get to these eggs real quick.
If you had to be stuck on an island with one teammate who's not making it.
Wait, because Taylor Swift going crazy.
Devon would make it because he's from Hawaii.
Okay.
Trenches of Hawaii, so he knows how to do a lot of stuff.
You're from the trenches of Hawaii.
Oh,
And they
okay.
got a lot
Throw
of
back.
violence down there, huh?
A lot of violence, man.
Down in Hawaii,
A
bro.
lot of violence. I heard them cannons. I ain't even flinch. I'm used to it. Like, for real, like, you gotta understand, like, what's out there for real. You feel me? Palm trees and bullets.
Palm trees and bullets.
That's what he said.
Palm
But
trees and bullets.
I don't know. There's smart people on my team.
Okay.
It depends what will be on the island. I don't know.
All right, Taylor Swift is going crazy. Let me see if I can skip. Okay, hardest football moment and how do you bounce back? Okay, this is a good question.
Star pants.
What's been your hardest football moment, and how did you bounce back?
Probably getting hurt last year, my arm breaking in the middle of the game,
That's tough.
or like the sixth play of the game, because I worked a lot that off season, and I came back another year so I can get drafted really high.
And
And just getting hurt kind of, derailed everything, but God got a plan for everything, and I ended up on the Bucs, and everything's going great. So things be happening for a reason.
Get one meal for the rest of your life.
things
what
to
would
be
it
happening.
Crab legs and
Hey.
fried whole redfish.
What's the
Right.
worst?
Worst lie. Let's see if we can get some more football stuff. What is the specific goal? Okay. Specific goal you're trying to accomplish in training game.
Best shape that I could possibly be in.
Okay, cool.
Number one, being mentally prepared by, continue to study everything so I can go in knowing everything and go in playing fast without thinking about anything.
Just a girl in my comments. Okay, I see they took the quotes from the video. Okay. Now I'm listening. I'm like, I just told y'all this. I just told y'all he said this. But let's see. We can go to another one. Let's see. How are you adjusting to being on your own away from your family? Okay.
Different.
You say it's different.
But it's not something that I haven't done before though. So
Yeah,
it's not
and if we can, shout out to Just a Girl again. But I want to point out that where we at? We're at like 13. This is how many crab legs this NFL.
Yes, sir.
Look at this. Now y'all might, if you haven't unsubscribed from me being, a glazer or this and that, you're going to unsubscribe after what I say. This is going to be the worst thing you've ever heard me say. I hate seafood. And not do I just hate seafood, I doubly hate these shelled motherfuckers right here because it looks good, but every time I try it, I just can't. I can't get with it, man. I try to eat it, and it's not great. But how many clusters is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Appreciate it.
I mean, my God.
This is the moment I've been waiting.
Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look, I might not eat seafood, but I know this ain't cheap, partner. I know that. I know this ain't the little one. You feel me? But back to the important stuff. Back to the important stuff. From now on until when training camp start, what does a day in the life for Shilo Sanders look like?
And 50,000%.
Oh.
Well, for these few days that I've been off,
Somebody not cooking it right. Okay.
I've just been letting my body recover, my mind recover,
Look how he tearing him up.
so I can get right back to it and go 150,000%, so I could take advantage of this opportunity that's ahead of me in training camp. So when we get back to it, we're gonna get to it. But right now,
he focused on them crab legs. Let's be real. Right now, he focused on them crab legs, dog. Okay. I think this is a cool question because, a lot of people, Nepo baby this, Jackson State this. Y'all forget that Shilo Sanders was a South Carolina Gamecock. Y'all don't play
Where
this
do you
game.
think your life would be if you never left South Carolina?
oh my gosh, I probably would have already went to the league. Probably would have had like 3 years under my belt by now. So I don't know, but I wouldn't have got to be able to play with my brother and my dad, Which is really fun.
Huh. I want to point out two things. One of the another reasons why I love Shiloh's story, and I don't bring it up all the time because I brought it up like 1,000 times, is because if you go back and actually look at Shiloh's story, Shilo Sanders, he was a quarterback. He was the quarterback for Deion's team that he was coaching, and then Shador came, and it was like, hey, Shador is the quarterback. Like, Shador has been training with Tom Brady. Yo, I'm gonna teach you corner, and Shilo made the sacrifice to move from quarterback to corner. I think he played wide receiver too, but it doesn't stop there, right? He moves positions where I guess he didn't really want to play. He wanted to be a quarterback. He makes the sacrifice for his little brother, and then he becomes an SEC defensive back, and then sacrifices that again for Jackson State, and goes from being an SEC cornerback to now being an FCS corner, or SEC defensive back to now FCS. Wow, that's a lot of letters, son. And then from there, you go to the Pac-12, and then the Big 12, and then you hurt your arm. So it's like, when you look at his journey, for as much as people want to say, oh, he's a Sanders, he's a this, he's a that, his journey to make the NFL is going to be hard. And a lot of that could be, you could argue, is Deion's fault because he wanted the kids to be together. You know what I'm saying? But now, I also, the reason why I pointed that out first is because the other thing I want to point out is that he didn't have to say, hey, I enjoyed playing with my brothers, right? And I think a lot of things, and, as I get older, I think instead of regretting things, right? I think at that young age, sometimes I regret this or regret that. But older I get, it's like, it's not about regret, right? It's like, it's opportunity cost, right? What did you do instead of that thing, right? So what did Shilo do instead of being in the league? Well, he got to have one of the most unique experiences of his life, right? And I know he's already played in high school with them, but when you talk about at the highest level, you get to help build an HBCU, and y'all know, if y'all watch, to be honest with you, if you watch like Will Off Media and all that stuff, Shilo Sanders going to the HBCU and finding, like, his I think his frat and doing that whole thing, that was really, I think, is what he loves. I think that he found a new love there. So if we're really want to talk about it, he was more tore up leaving Jackson State to Colorado, if you go back and watch those videos, but that's neither here nor there, right? I think instead of saying, hey, he didn't make it to the league, the fact that he has the maturity and be like, But I got to do this phenomenal thing, though. I got to do something that not many people in their lifetime get to do. Whether you're famous, not famous, whether you just have a coach as a dad, you can be a coach as dad. How many people have a coach as a dad and get to play with another brother at the same time and get to play all their years together as this like unit? Like that is just remarkable. So, don't look at it as regrets. Look at it as what did we do in that meantime? And I think was create something that I don't think people realize it, but people are going to look back at the Jackson State well-off media videos. They're going to look back at the Colorado well-off. These are like a time capsule of these now NFL football players, and more importantly, the culture and the way that Deion Sanders and his family is building out football as a family and building out what it means. And now you're getting Shilo Sanders with his own channel, and he's putting in his work and doing that. So it's just a beautiful thing, and even more beautiful that we get to watch this journey and can chronicleize it and see, the hard work and the different things that, and really see what it means for these guys to take these next steps. So that's great. It's been phenomenal. But yeah, we'll be checking in on Shilo Sanders. Obviously, when the real deal pads get put on, hopefully he can, do what he needs to do to take the big steps and make the 53-man roster. And after that, it's just about season opportunities. You feel me? So if you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you didn't, dislike it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes, sizes, and forms. Go ahead and hit that bell icon if you want to stay locked in the loop at every single time. Be great. Continue to be great. We'll see you next time. Peace.